Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful temple of knowledge. I haven't stepped foot in this auditorium since I graduated in 2019. It feels great to be back to address this amazing gathering here today. When Mr. Shijo asked me to send him a topic that I'd be interested to talk about, I was clueless. My mind went completely blank, and I lost the ability to think. But then, I mustered up my courage, and with all the experiences from my school and college days, I looked for an easy way out. Therefore, I asked ChatGPT to give me a topic, and obviously, the TEDx team liked the topic that the loyal and faithful AI provided me with. Trust me when I say, they are rising. I just graduated from Georgetown University School of Foreign Service with a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, majoring in international history, which may be the reason why I tend to focus more on telling a story more often than making arguments. According to Wikipedia, diplomacy comprises spoken or written communications by representatives of states, such as leaders and diplomats, intended to influence events in the international system. Up until the 20th century, they mainly used the means of military force. Things have changed. Now, the battlefield is no longer an open ground. It is a table, and the belligerents are not wearing bulletproof jackets or hiding in trenches. They're wearing a well-tailored Savile Row suit. In a manner of speaking, diplomacy is a battle of words. I believe it was Will Rogers who aptly said that diplomacy is saying, nice doggy, until you can find a rock. Now, how many of you have heard of a TV show named Yes, Minister? It is a British docudrama, dramedy, or a political satire. The main characters of this TV show is Mr. James Hacker, the Minister of Administrative Affairs in the fictional Ministry of Administrative Affairs in the British government, Sir Humphrey Appleby, the permanent Undersecretary to the Department of Administrative Affairs, and Mr. Bernard Woolley, the Principal Private Secretary to the Minister. The entire show is about the passionate minister pushing his agendas for the welfare of his party and his people, while the dutiful civil service, well, what do the civil service usually do? They help the minister, right? Well, no, they don't help the minister. They shoot down the minister at every single turn. This show also has a sequel titled Yes, Prime Minister. I think I just gave a huge spoiler there. But anyways, I'll be drawing a bit of a dialogue from one of the episodes. Sir Humphrey Appleby probably gave one of the best differentiation between diplomacy and politics when he said, diplomacy is about surviving until the next century, while politics is about surviving until Friday afternoon. In my view, diplomats tackle every single problem they face by looking and keeping one eye in the future, while a politician only look at a short-term success for about in 4 or 5 years. It is not their problem anymore, is it? You know that global diplomacy is changing when world leaders start sending each other friend requests on Facebook. In a very recent interview, the Australian Prime Minister was asked a question about how the world leaders communicate in the modern world. He replied that they had a WhatsApp group wherein they sent each other messages, although he assured the viewers that they haven't quite started sending each other memes or jokes. The main reason for the changing role of diplomacy in today's world is mainly because of the change in the viewpoint of the world. We have seen a paradigm shift in the way nations exert their power and influence over others. The use of hard power, that is the use of guns and nukes, have been limited, and that has paved the way for soft power. There are many nations in this world who have succeeded with the use of soft power in the 20th century. If you're looking for examples, there is no need to go very far. Qatar is the best example of the optimum usage of soft power. Qatar, a small peninsula in this Arabian Gulf, which used the Indian rupee as its official national currency until the early 1970s, rose to prominence in the world stage through its various usage of soft power. By the late 20th century, under the great vision and leadership of His Highness, the Father Emir Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, Qatar rose to prominence in the world stage. Together with Her Highness Sheikh Hamosa bin Nasser, His Highness the Father Emir established Qatar Foundation, a hub for elite universities from the United States, such as Georgetown, Carnegie Mellon, Texas A&M, Virginia Commonwealth, Weill Cornell, etc. Qatar Foundation today boasts a student body of 4,000 plus from more than 60 different countries around the world. Qatar put themselves on the map yet again when they hosted and won the bid for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. They outdid themselves when they hosted the game successfully, even without any booze in the stadiums. Only Qatar could pull off such a thing in a game that is usually dominated by Western culture. Qatar did not limit itself to games such as Asian Games or FIFA. They built a racing track for Formula One Grand Prix in Lusail, which attracts Formula One enthusiasts from around the world, both online and in person. Why is Qatar spending all this money on effort and time on organizing games such as these here in Qatar? Well, the sporting events such as these that I mentioned give Qatar a chance to shine in the world stage. It gives a chance for Qatar to be recognized. Now, when you look at all the achievements of, say, the national team of Argentina, what is the first image that comes to your mind? For me, it is of Lionel Messi wearing the best presented to him by His Highness the Emir. That is the first image that comes to my mind. The success of the game increased this nation's reputation worldwide. We all say that sports unites the world. Well, Qatar just unified the world here in their region. For about a month, the world focused on Qatar more than anything else. What more does a country need? But enough about the games. What do you all usually do for weekends around here? DFC, Mall of Qatar, Villaggio. I think that's where you'll find half of the population in Qatar during the weekends. That's where everyone goes. You step into one of these malls, you'll find that it is packed. And if there's a sale going on, good luck finding your way in the crowd. During a conversation with Her Excellency Sheikh Al Mayasa bin Hamad Al Thani, the chairperson of Qatar Museums, she started talking about the cultural differences between Qataris and the people here in Europe. Apparently, the people in Europe choose to spend their weekends visiting museums, visiting friends, or just taking a stroll in the park or a picnic, while the people in Qatar choose to spend their weekends while listening to a boring guy speak for 15 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Just visiting malls. Sheikh Al Mayasa shared her vision to have people living in Qatar go out and explore the museums and other places like that which would enrich their minds and increase their knowledge. To that extent, we see a rise in the number of museums here in and around Doha. And not just museums, we also see a rise in many exhibits of public art in and around Doha, dedicated to various things like Orientalism, Islamic and world heritage, modern art, etc. We also see an increase in the number of temporary exhibitions within these museums and outside. We recently had an exhibit about Tipu Sultan in Mathaf, the Arab Museum of Modern Art. Exhibitions don't always mean jewelry or old pieces of coins or artworks. It also includes automobiles. The most recent one being the Geneva International Motor Show, which concluded with, and I quote, a remarkable attendance of 180,000 visitors. Now, why am I talking about exhibitions and museums? Very boring, right? No, it is to emphasize on a very important aspect of global diplomacy, an emerging mode of diplomacy called cultural diplomacy. By hosting these exhibitions, Qatar promotes cultural tourism. When people visit this region, they interact with the culture, they learn more about the culture, and it further broadens their understanding of the region. Moreover, by hosting joint exhibitions such as the Motor Show, Qatar builds stronger ties with the other collaborating nations, which tend to last longer than any other means of bilateral relations. Earlier, I just mentioned about people interacting with the culture, understanding more about the region, and changing their opinions about this place. How many of you believe that it is actually possible? That just by visiting a place for a couple of days or months, you can change your entire perspective about that place? I'll say that it is possible. That just by visiting this place, you will be able to change your opinion about the people and the region. There is a trend called semester abroad in all the American universities here in Qatar Foundation, wherein a student can spend their semester abroad in their main campus in the United States. This year, spring semester, we had 2 students, Sanji Rohira and John Wilson, join us over here at Georgetown University in Qatar from our main campus in Washington, D.C. They came here with their own expectations about the place, and they were not really great. You know what everyone thinks about Qatar or this region. They came here, experienced this culture, met with people who hail from different parts of the world. All 3 of us were also in a class titled Theorizing Art in Qatar, a class taught by one of my favorite professors, Dr. Firat Oruch. This class took us to many museums in and around Doha. We interacted with the artworks, public art, museum exhibits, and everything. They went back to DC, and now they have started to spread the gospel of Qatar. Now we have many more students wishing to spend their semester abroad in Qatar. You say that cultural diplomacy is a fluke. Well, I respectfully say you're wrong. Qatar increased their influence in the region and the world through the means of soft power. This is the new world order. We see Qatar mediating in many conflicts that happens in this region. Usually, when a conflict happens in a place, who are the most important people? Yes, one of the most important person is the President of the United States. When you look about the conflicts that are happening in this region, it is entirely different. Qatar, Saudi, and other nations like that have emerged as one of the key players. Studies show that we are moving from a Western-centric to an Asian-centric world. And I believe that when that happens, Qatar will be one of the key players in the world stage. Now, what can we do to enhance each other's knowledge and views? Simply talk. Talk to each other. Experience different cultures. And if you get a chance, experience those cultures in person, like go to places, travel around the world, talk to different people, open your mind for arguments. Do not close your mind at all. Let us change and let us be a catalyst for change and be beacons for a path to many possibilities. Thank you.